My name is Brianna Sinclair. This is my 73rd week on HRT, and if you like my content, please like, follow, comment, subscribe. You can follow me over my Discord, my Blue Sky, and I do have an X account. And with that being said, let's get right into the video. So, my measurements here. My quick measurements update. My hips are 36 and a half. My bust is 38. And my waist is 24 and 3/4. So my hips and my waist both decreased, and honestly that makes sense. I'm a little surprised that like my bust measurement hasn't decreased as well, because I've had like a pretty interesting week where like I was just on the go consistently for like 3 days, and I didn't eat for like 2 of them. I sat down today and kind of like had something incredibly unhealthy, and plan to eat more of that because I do need to like build up fat so that my body has like something to work with as far as like depositing fat, breast development, and like just my overall well-being. Emotional state. My emotions, I think, are pretty good. I do have like weird emotional moments where I can get enraged really quickly, and I think it just depends on like the situation. Like if I've been like, typically I'm very patient, but if someone's just been like picking away at like and just being absolutely ruthless towards me over a period of time, I'll eventually just blow up towards them, and they'll not like it, I guarantee you that. Yeah, that kind of happened to my business partner. She was angry towards me, and she was having a day, and so I gave her space, but like 24 hours into this, and I just kind of like said, all right, you need to stop this. We've got shit to do. We've got to do like everything for the restaurant. We don't have time for these petty games. And she didn't like that, and I know that I'm right. I just don't think I said it tactfully enough. Because there is a right way to say that. I just don't know how to say it without just being as blunt as a shovel. But I don't know. Typically, like whenever I'm happy, I'm really happy, and hair reduction and growth. I've actually shaved like a week ago, and I'm just now noticing like some of my hair starting to grow, which is insane progress for me, because it's seeing like remembering where I was in the beginning. I would shave every other day, and I would irritate my skin, and I would, kid you not, cut like bits of my skin off because like I would press really hard to get like every follicle, and it just wasn't what was needed, I guess. And kind of being where I'm at now, where I only have to shave like once every so often, and I can do it like pretty frequently. I just don't really feel the need to, because I guess I'm kind of like, I still have that memory of me like having to shave all the time, and now it's like I can go like a week or two. I can go like a little bit before like I have to hop in the shower and just spend all that time in there just getting rid of everything. And don't get me wrong, like I love the feeling of like not having anything on my body. That's a very like satisfying feeling because then I'm super soft, and whenever I'm super soft, like it makes me feel more feminine because I'm like I feel soft and delicate in a way. Um, and it's purely for me. It's not really like for anyone else. And I think that like some people get that like confused because yes, I go on dates, but like no, do I do it for like the people I go on a date with or like my partner? Like me taking care of me is for me, not for anyone else. And I think that's something that's like important. It's definitely something like is important for me because whenever I was younger and still a boy, I would take care of myself based on like what my partner's expectations were, and that's not the right answer. I have learned to like just take care of yourself for you. It's a little weird. I don't know. It seems so simple, but a lot of people like work out for like to look good for their partner, to look good for like so like they can attract a certain type of person, or I guess like being a certain like have a certain aesthetic, but like if you want that, that's one thing. But if you're doing it for anyone else other than you, it's not really like it's not really the right answer. Like me, like I want to learn how to do the splits. Does absolutely nothing because I can't dance, and I don't imagine my partner's ever really gonna like enjoy that. It's solely for me because I would want to learn how to do that. Yeah, that's something like I really thought I could do as a kid, and like really wanted to because I saw all the girls do it. And I was like, anything y'all can do, I can do as well. And even from a little kid, I wanted to be a girl. That was the one thing I couldn't do, just due to the structure of my pelvis, and unfortunate. But it's okay. Like as I grew up and I learned, I understood why, and I knew that I could still learn how to do the splits. It would just be harder because I don't have my biology on my side. If anything, my biology is working against me. But I've been doing a lot of like looking into it and like kind of digging into like how I can do that, and I think it's gonna be really fun to kind of like get that started. It's gonna be painful, but it's gonna be fun. I don't know, but whenever I can finally do it, it's gonna be nice. Breast growth. My breasts have stayed the same size these past 2 weeks, I think. Yeah, 2 weeks. Which does mean that like A, they did shrink, and B, like that I guess I did lose weight. I haven't been eating too well, and I know I need to start eating a lot more, and that's what I've been trying to do, and trying to like iron out. Because I do want like my breasts to develop, and I want like a really nice like figure. It's hard to maintain my figure and be conducive to like my breast growth at like the same time, because my body still deposits fat in like my midsection even though I wear my waist trainer. And my waist trainer is amazing, actually. Let me grab her because I'm pretty proud. This is my waist trainer. It's by Tributo, so I know some of y'all have like asked like who I got it from, and in no way do they pay me to do this at all. This is just a brand that like I like, and that's it. Yeah, it's Tributo, and they've got like the little like leaf tag. But this is a 2XS, and I wear it on the tightest setting, and I'm taking a break from it right now because it has started to cut into my sides pretty well. Like, I don't know if you can see that there, and I've got plenty of nice little bruises over here from the pinching that my waist trainer is doing. I'm gonna get a wrap to go underneath it and maybe go up a setting, so that way I can still get that compression and not get an insane amount of damage. But I should still be getting the same amount of compression on like the lowest setting, and whenever I cinch in my waist with my waist trainer and then my belt underneath, I think I do drop down below like 18 inches, which is phenomenal. This hurt a little bit, but like my original waist trainer hurt like nobody's business until I got used to it, and I haven't had my waist trainer for a hot minute, so I imagine my like ability to maintain myself in it has diminished a bit, and I'm excited to build that back up. I don't know if they have a smaller size, but I think the next one, I don't know what I'm going to do if I go smaller. My hips decreased as well, and that one I would blame solely on me, like losing weight and stuff like that. And so I've been running around, I've been going like several days without eating, unfortunately, and that's just been the struggle at this point. Not because like I don't have money to eat or anything. I have money to eat. I just don't feel hunger the same, and so like I can go several days without eating, and basically I just eat out of like habit or necessity. It's really weird, and it always used to make my ex-wife upset because like she would make me eat, and whenever she would start gaining weight, she'd be super upset, and because I would either stay the same or lose weight, and whenever like we started to go on a diet, like we would both lose weight, but it just never like really did anything for me, except like at a certain point there was just not enough weight for me to lose. And in high school, I remember my body fat percentage was less than, it was like 4.8 something. It was honestly disgusting and unhealthy because I used to wrestle back in high school, and I had such low body fat that I would just pass out in the wrestling match and just get manhandled, which did suck. Because like in middle school, I was really good. I was terrible my first year, but then I figured it out my second year. And whenever like I was introduced to like cutting weight extremely hard, I would cut weight the best I could. And there was only one time I couldn't make weight, but I remember we would work so hard in the gym to cut weight and stuff like that, that like it would rain from the ceiling. Like all of the humidity in the air would get so heated, and it would just collect on the ceiling, and it would just start pouring off of like the ventilation ducts and everything. And it was gross, but it was wild. Only time I'd ever seen that. was a day where I lost like 5 pounds in the matter of like an hour or two. It was absolutely disgusting because I showed up in like a full like sweatsuit and we would just wrestle each other on end, and I would just go after like from person after person after person after person, just so I could like make weight. And I don't know, that's the lowest that my body fat percentage has ever been. It's probably significantly higher now, thankfully. Honestly, it would probably have to be. But like I'm trying to keep my waist small. I do like my figure, and I'm trying to, I guess, keep it to where my body only deposits fat in like my breasts, my face, and my butt and my hips, because that feminizes me a lot more. And yeah, I guess due to the fact that like my breasts haven't been like growing recently, and they've like shrunk and then like they stayed the same. This would be like the second week that like my breasts really haven't hurt, per se. Like whenever like severe pressure is applied, like yes, like it's uncomfortable, but they don't hurt. Yeah, I think that's the best way to describe that. Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do about that. Probably just get implants, honestly, because I like the shape I have. I would just like bigger breasts and more voluptuous like butt and hip set. And I can't put on the weight for like a BBL, unfortunately, which is why I'm stuck with this waist trainer. Yeah, trust me, the BBL was like my first option, because then I would have to get up to I think 165 to get a 30% BMI, and that was like 30 pounds. And honestly, it was kind of it was hard for me to put on weight. Sex drive. My sex drive has not really decreased. I just have more of like the option, so if like I'm too tired to like really do anything, I can just roll over and go to sleep now, whereas like traditionally I could not. I always had to like perform sexually to like go to sleep, and that was a thing that I did ever since I was a kid until like there was a span of 2 months I couldn't, because I shared a room with like 80 other guys, and they would kind of like, they were kind of ruthless savages that would mess with you for any reason. So I never like did anything in there, and I never told them like when my birthday was, because they would wake you up at an ungodly time just to mess with you, and it was not a fun time. I just wanted no part of it, so I just didn't tell anyone anything, and my birthday came and went and nobody knew until like after, and then I admitted it and told everyone like I was not going to tell them while I was in, because like I don't know, they just do like the weirdest things sometimes. As far as me like performing sexually, so I have been on dates. I've had like some partners, and this is gonna be like a lot of TMI, but typically like I'm versed, but I gravitate towards more being a bottom. So a lot of my partners are typically verse or top, or something of that nature. I don't really choose my partner based on sex, gender, or anything like that. It's more about how like they treat me, which kind of leads me to like the people that I'm currently talking to. There's two guys I'm talking to that are so kind and sweet. And like one of them, I wish he lived closer. He's just 5 hours away, which sucks. But honestly, that's nowhere near like the longest drive I've done to like see someone. And the other one lives like 30 minutes away from me, which is completely doable. And honestly, they're both adorable. One's exploring his femininity because he's non-binary, and it blows my mind because the one looks absolutely gorgeous as a girl and hella handsome as a guy, and the other one is just both of them are shorter than me. I think one of them is 5'4", the other one might be 5'2". I'm sitting at a whopping 5'9", and I typically wear heels, so we might as well just say 6 foot. But I don't know, they both know that like I'm transgender and they're okay with it, and I'm honestly kind of happy about it. They've not been like other people that I've talked to, because most people just like send me a lewd picture and are like, hey, are you like down to do something? And I'm like, no, not really. I just kind of want to like build a connection and maybe like hopefully it turns into a relationship, because I'm demisexual, so like I can't just do one night stands and like hookups. It's not something I can do even like if I wanted to. There's been times where like I've wanted to perform with a partner and I haven't been able to, just because like the condition of my demisexuality hadn't been fulfilled. So being on a date with this one girl, she was another transgender woman, and she I don't know, we were doing everything and I couldn't fully like perform during it, but I told her it's okay. I'm still more into like pleasing my partner. So just because I couldn't be satisfied didn't mean that she couldn't, and that's the way I viewed it. I was not mentally ready, and that's okay. It sucks that it happened, because like I always try and make sure like my partner has like a good time with me, especially like whenever we're intimate. Because typically like there's a lot of like touching and stuff like that, and like after, it's again a lot of touching and like holding, and it's a lot of aftercare that's very important to me, because to me that's important because it lets my partner know that I care about them, because they were vulnerable with me, and so I feel like I should take care of that vulnerability. And granted, I was vulnerable with them as well. I don't know, it just seems like it's something like I do naturally. I did like, it was suggested, and it was mentioned like aftercare of like intercourse and stuff like that for like your partner, because sometimes your brain can release a lot of like serotonin or something like that, and most guys honestly will just like finish and then roll over and go to sleep, which is not what you're supposed to do. You're honestly supposed to like fight the urge to go to sleep and stay awake and care for your partner, because your partner, like, they literally like both of you contributed to this. You both like saw the most interesting, well, maybe not the most interesting, but like, I guess, yeah. You both saw like each other as your most vulnerable, and it's important to take care of that and preserve that, so that way the partner doesn't feel like they're just like a piece of meat or like a stool, like a tool. Sorry, because that's not what they're supposed to feel like. They're supposed to feel safe and secure with you. And I do get a little devious because like I like to touch my partner and stuff. I like to feel like where I can have the most effect on them. Yeah. I never like weaponize that. Like I always think it's like kind of funny. It's like, ooh, if I do this, they like really like that. But it's not like I'll ever like tease them with that or anything like that, because that's like it's really emotionally damaging. I don't know. There's different strokes for different folks, and that's just not something I do to people. But my sex drive is fine. I don't exercise it a whole lot because like I don't really like have a partner to do anything with, but I do still try to maintain like my length and my width, because if I get SRS, that'll be my depth. And if like my partner turns out to be male, then they'll definitely need some kind of depth to work with. SRS does scare me, and it's not something I really like want to do, but like as a kid I never really thought I would be a girl today either. So things change. Things do change. Like my primary sex characteristic doesn't bother me. Like it's easier in a way, because like the way I've kind of viewed it is I've got like this extension, this extra tool to help me like in the bathroom. I don't really view it as like a sexual object or like anything like that. It's just more of like something I have. Whereas like if I had like a natural female like primary sex characteristic, I would fit in a lot better, and I wouldn't have to tuck, which is the only inconvenient part of like having my primary sex characteristic. But I mean, I don't know, it's not that bad. I guess I do wear like a tucking underwear to like help hide my groin, because I don't know, it's not what I want like people to remember about me. I don't want people to remember my genitals. I'd rather somebody remember me for me, like who I am, not necessarily what I am. Like what I am is a part of who I am, but it's not all that I am. Me being tired. Yes, I've been extremely tired, especially with my new medication that I take. It's for my anxiety tics that I get every so often. And whenever I start getting them, I usually take it, and I'm supposed to take 4 of them a day, but if I take 3, I get extremely sleepy, and so like I've been taking like 1 or 2 a day, just as needed, because I've still got a business to run. I've still got a lot to do. I don't need to be like passed out in the office or like passed out in my driveway. I need to get this place up and going. My voice development. I think my voice is fine. I am still dysphoric about it because, like, sure, most of the time, like, yeah, I talk like this. And it sounds very masculine. But, like, whenever, like, I can step back and be like, yes, this is a little bit more feminine, and whenever I need to, like, talk louder, sure, I drop back into my male range because I haven't fully mastered, like, how to get that range and that volume at, like, my feminine voice. And that's, like, the only real negative part about my voice right now. I do get called she on, like, the phone and, like, ma'am occasionally, and I think that's interesting because it either tells me, like, either they know or they, I'm doing a good job, and typically I assume that they know. But I would like to think I'm doing a good job. A lot of people have been asking about what I do in, like, my private life. Typically, I work pretty much 24/7. I've got, like, a little business phone that I carry around, that I answer calls with all throughout the night, and whenever I'm home, that's what I'm doing. While I'm at the restaurant, I'm working. I'm either serving, bartending, hosting. Occasionally I'll step out into the grill area and, like, make the food, and I do DJ pretty frequently during the week, and just in case any of y'all are wondering, yes, I did perform one time, and I hope there's not a video. I don't like being the center of attention. It's just not for me. I'm sorry, y'all. Like, it was kind of cool to, like, be up there and kind of, like, listen to, like, one of my favorite songs and be in, like, this very interesting little, like, costume, but it's just not for me. Like I said, in my private life, I do, like, talk to other people. I don't have a whole lot of time, but I try to reach out to everyone I can because I would actually genuinely like a connection. And yes, there's a couple guys I'm talking to. There's 2 specific guys I'm really interested in. And there's a couple girls I've been interested in, and a couple trans men and transgender women. Obviously, sex and gender are not, like, my priority because I date all across the spectrum right there. It's entirely about how they treat me. Like, yes, I want to be respected and I want to be loved on, but I'm the more submissive, typically, which is hard because one of the guys I'm talking to is incredibly submissive, and it's a little different. He's more open, but he's so sweet and kind. Yeah, other than that, that's honestly it. I'm not too exciting. I did go up to my job in South Carolina to do my final termination exam, and because I've had a whole lot of issues, like, accepting it, like, I've had, like, my gender dysphoria, my anxiety, and depression, they classified me as an acceptable risk, which I think is hilarious. A lot of people probably don't, but I think it's funny because, sure, my mental health is struggling, but it's struggled since, like, I was a kid. I've seen counselors as a kid, and, like, I kind of knew that, like, talking to people was never, like, my strong suit. I always, like, did puzzles and stuff like that. So, like, Sudoku and stuff like that helped me kind of think out my thoughts. pretty good at Sudoku. I can do like the master puzzles in like 15 minutes, which is wild, because I guess I do enjoy them, but it always says like I'm better than like 95% of like the people that try these puzzles. I'm not sure where they're getting this information, but I think it's kind of cool. And occasionally I'll get stuck in like a Facebook like death scroll or a YouTube short scroll, because like I like informational videos and stuff like that. I do enjoy a good like conspiracy every now and again. Those I find interesting. And I love DIY videos. So like the Forged in Fire videos, like making electronics and stuff like that, like little hacks and stuff like that, I think are cool. Because it's all about trying to figure out how to like use your brain in a different way. I think that's interesting. And it's really cool. I think both of the guys I'm talking to kind of do understand that, like, I do want a family. I would actually very like to have a kid one day and, like, be a mother. Like, my business partner, my ex-wife, and I, we opened up this restaurant, and, like, behind closed doors, we call it Ashton, because that's the name of the child that she wanted to have. She wanted a boy, and she wanted his name to be Ashton so bad. So that's kind of like what we plan to do. Before we separated, we were talking to several people for like a surrogate, because I'm transgender and she's transgender. She's sterile, and I wasn't transgender at the time, but because we couldn't naturally reproduce, we had to find a surrogate. And what I wanted to do, but we thought about it too late, because she became sterile and couldn't regain her fertility, is ideally I would like to have like a child from both of us from like the same woman. Because I feel like that'd be more like family encompassing, I guess. I know my odds of like having like a child in the future are probably low, because most people that are interested in me are men. Most women that are interested in me either don't want kids or are transgender women, in which case I can't have kids with them anyway. That being said, let's get this walk out of the way. That's all I got for tonight, y'all. If you like my content, this is Brianna Sinclair signing off. You can follow me over on my Discord, my Blue Sky, and I do have an X account. That being said, have a good one, y'all.